Hello and welcome back to my channel where I share natural, free facelifting techniques that actually work. My name is Elise and I'm so grateful that you're here. The ideas I'm sharing in this series have been the most game-changing thing. In the last two sections, I'll explain what I believe is causing these adhesions and therefore the deep wrinkles and the loss of volume. Understanding these concepts to me feels like we're running forward with a parachute attached to our back, and then we cut off that parachute, everything becomes so much easier. Today's video is for forehead and temple adhesion, so let's jump right into it. Okay, first, what is an adhesion and why do we care? Muscles become chronically tight. Blood vessels then are blocked, and then blood and oxygen cannot get through. Free radicals begin bouncing around in what some would describe as pinball type fashion, and then the body fixes these holes made by the free radicals with a glue that is the adhesion. So now that we know what an adhesion is, it's easier to look for. In the temples, the adhesions I have feel almost like speed bumps. They're very shallow, hard bumps that almost feel movable, but at the same time not. I have to dig my fingers in a little deep to feel these bumps. So don't skip this step. It's very important that you go in and assess what's happening here, because if you don't have adhesions in the areas that I'm going to be going through in this series, it really doesn't make a lot of sense to go into depth trying to remove them. I also find it super interesting that after finding all these adhesions in my temples, and I think about the temples is often a lot of times where men and women both can have hair loss. And we know that to increase hair growth, we have to increase the circulation. So I just find this very interesting. Maybe the adhesion has something to do with the hair loss in the beginning. Obviously, I'm not a doctor and I could be completely off base. My right side has a lot more adhesions than my left. I'm not sure if this is because I chew on my right side. My jaw is a lot stronger on my right, and so is my temple. The muscles of mastication work together, so this makes perfect sense to me that the right side is altogether more tense and probably containing more adhesions than the left. I also think that's a great way to spot an adhesion is if you have a lot of lumps and bumps and tension on one side that isn't there on the other side. Most likely it is not supposed to be there. Okay, moving on to the forehead. This area may be a little trickier to spot. You can fan your fingers from the center out to the hairline, seeing if you notice any volume changes or lumps and bumps like we talked about. You can also shift your fingers back and forth to move the skin and muscle to find out if there's any spot that feels extremely sticky or tense or like pulled in and restricted. If you don't have a lot of facial fat or a very prominent forehead muscle, you're most likely going to feel the bone. So it is a pretty feather-light touch trying to determine what's going on here, but try to be intuitive, maybe see what feels healthy and what feels like a restriction and tense. Okay, a lot of this is going to be intense for the arms. You can cut that down by using a gua sha. Today I'm just showing the hands because I love to show free things, but if you'd like a video with the gua sha, I'll do that in the future. Okay, so make fists with your hands using your knuckles. You're going to press into your temples and hold. exercises I would recommend to check in throughout the day in order to prevent the adhesion. Remember that the adhesion was not formed because of age or growing older. The adhesion is formed because we are cutting off blood flow and oxygen to our muscles and tissues. That means that our muscles and tissues are tight. So we have to fully relax our face. You almost want to bring your face into a completely meditative, relaxed state. I would sit for 5 minutes and fully relax every muscle to the best of your ability so that your face is just like completely relaxed, like just melted, so relaxed. And then that will be the face you have to almost carry throughout the day. And I know that seems kind of strange because when we're focusing, we're tensing, but this is how we're going to prevent the adhesions. Now for the fun part, you can grab your face icy or just a regular piece of ice. And as a reminder, it's very important to use some type of oil or moisturizer before you do your face icy because the coldness from the ice can stick to your skin. You don't want that. You want a nice, smooth, comfortable glide. You don't want to get any burns from the ice or have the ice stick to you. Okay, so this is the most important part, and I hope I say this in a way that's clear so I get my point across because I really truly believe this is everything. Okay, so our face is filled with these micro expressions that I don't even believe we know are there. For example, when I wake up, my face is very sleepy. I go downstairs and I start drinking my coffee. So my face went from being fully relaxed, all the muscles, the eyes are heavy, the forehead is heavy, and then all of a sudden I drink my coffee and my face starts to become alert along with my body and my mind. Well, what happens when I become alert? I noticed my eyebrows start pulling in, my forehead starts tensing, my temples start becoming very tense. I can even feel like this constriction coming all the way from the top of my head. And this is what is creating the adhesions, the squeezing and tensing of these muscles that we shouldn't be, that's cutting off oxygen, cutting off blood flow, and giving us these adhesions and deep wrinkles such as frown lines and tension in our temples and on our forehead. All of this stuff can be prevented because remember, the adhesion is not being formed because we're growing older. The adhesion is being formed because we're cutting off oxygen and blood flow to our muscles and our tissues. So, are we all going to give up caffeine for good? Absolutely not. Of course not. We're not going to give up the things we love because we want to do face yoga and look young and look like ourselves. But what we can do, and this is going to be just as effective, if not more, is start training our face. Okay, I'm drinking the coffee. I'm feeling more awake. I feel the muscles starting to pull in towards each other and start scrunching. Now I can close my eyes or even do this with my eyes open and bring my face to a completely meditative state where I'm relaxing my eyebrows, I'm relaxing my forehead, I'm relaxing my temples. I can even place my hands here to make sure that I'm not feeling any pulses anywhere where it's all of a sudden you're drinking the coffee, you're getting going, it's stimulated and everything starts pulsing. But yeah, it's these micro expressions that we don't even know we're making. So I'm just using the feeling of being alert as an example because it pertains to my forehead area, my temples, definitely squeezing in between the eyebrows. But this is just an example. There are many micro expressions that we are making throughout the day, and this is what we have to be conscious of. So if we could just constantly relax our face throughout the day, and I know we say this all the time and we hear it all the time, but really just take a few seconds and relax your eyebrows. And the more you do it, the more you're going to notice, right? That's why face yoga is so incredible because we now can build control over each and every muscle that was just doing its own thing before. These muscles were just doing whatever they wanted. They're constricting, they're tightening, they're pulling in, they're creating frown lines. They're looking angry when we want to look happy. But now we're in control of these muscles. We are the ones who decide whether they tighten or stretch or relax or whatever they do because we are in charge of our face. Our face is not in charge of us. And if you made it this far in the video, I just want to say how much I love you and appreciate you. I love to interact with you. I love your passion for this. This is one of my biggest passions in the whole world, and I love that I get to share it with you. I really believe that not only is this going to be the best way that we can get the aesthetic results we want, but it's also going to heal us on a soul level, because just like when you smile and your brain registers to your face that you're happy, once we're relaxing these tight muscles and like getting these adhesions broken up and prevented, I think we're literally releasing all of these micro expressions. I keep wanting to say microaggressions, micro expressions from our face, and we're gonna feel happier, we're gonna feel safe, we're gonna feel relaxed, and then we're gonna attract all of these wonderful, beautiful things into our lives. So don't give up. I've been meditating every single day, and I'm starting to understand a lot of this on such a deeper level than I could ever learned by myself. And I'm going to share all of it with you. We're in this together. Oop. And there goes my ice cube. So that looks like we're done for this video. You can oil and ice your whole face if you are needing a nice little cool down. If not, you can join me for the next one. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Namaste. I will see you in the next video.